Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Chase here at Rocky Mountain. Thank you so much for checking in. So today, very excited to talk to you about the latest edition of the Xplorer Adventure jacket and pant from MSR. So we first launched this gear in 2023, and I said it in the first video, I'll say it again, that this gear is the culmination of countless hours spent, thousands of miles traveled on our adventure bikes testing this gear to give you the most technical gear possible with great protection and functionality at a phenomenal price point. It's been very popular since it first came out, but we didn't want to settle. We've been listening to customer feedback. There's a lot of things that we've learned wearing this gear since it came out, and we've actually made over 10 changes to the Xplorer gear. Now looking at it, you say, you know what, I don't really see any changes. That's because there's nothing major that we've done to the gear, but there's just those little refinements that we've gone through and made to make this gear even better than it was before. So today we're gonna walk you through, if this is your first time hearing about or learning about the Xplorer gear, we're gonna talk all about it, but I'm also gonna point out those changes that we've made to make this gear even better. So if you have questions though, as I go through and talk about it, please leave those down below. We'll get those answered. It's available in 3 different colorways. So Charles, your favorite how-to mechanic, he's our model today. He's wearing the blue and orange. We also have the gray and the all black you can see here behind me. So 3 colors to choose from. And as far as the fitment goes, so Charles, he's about 5'11", 180 pounds. He's wearing a large jacket and he's wearing a 32 pant. There are tall sizes available in certain colorways in the pant. So if you are worried or if you are quite a bit taller than Charles, we do have some of those tall sizes available. We also brought another rider, Chance, into the studio. He is a completely different build, so we're gonna put his dimensions up on the screen. So depending on your build, use him also as a sizing reference. It's got that adventure touring cut. Now this is shell only, does have a mesh liner, so you are gonna need to have your own mid and your base layers with this. You know, we've got the jacket pant, but we have base layers, we have mid layers. They've got the Expedition helmet. Charles is also wearing the wind block glove from MSR. They've got boots. So no matter what you need head to toe, MSR is gonna have you completely covered to get everything you need for your next adventure ride. But again, going back to the fit, we wanna make sure that you had enough room underneath to wear those mid and base layers, but we didn't want to be overly baggy. So we're very happy with the fit of it. You do have adjuster straps here around the waist and the forearm. What's nice too is that those are one-handed operation, so very easy for Charles to cinch those down on the fly if he did need to. Now keep in mind, we have our fit guarantee. If you buy this gear, and this goes for any apparel item that we sell at Rocky Mountain, if you don't like how it fits, you can send it back to us in brand new unused condition. We'll give you free shipping both ways on your first exchange to make sure you get the size and the fit that you are happiest with. Now, one other little change that we made too, from a fitment standpoint, is the length of the jacket. All sizes got about 1.5 inches of added length to the front at the bottom. And that, again, that's just something that we realized riding in this gear. We thought, you know what, just needs a little bit more length. So we did that. And then you are going to have the drop seat in the back as well, just to make sure when you're on the bike sitting, you're not going to have that come up too high on you. All right, let's talk about the technicality of this. Because like I said, this is, when you compare this gear to other sets that are out there, it is amazing how many features are packed into this. And we'll start out with the shell. So this is the eVent DV, which stands for Direct Venting Expedition 3-layer shell. This is the burliest fabric that eVent has to offer. And the funny thing is, I don't know if this is funny, but Charles and I can both attest to the durability of this gear because we've actually both crashed in it. Charles has somehow managed to hit 2 deer. And I actually, going on a canyon ride, I low-sided. I slid about 30, 40 feet on the asphalt. So we can both tell you that the abrasion resistance of the shell, the super fabric, the D3O armor, it does its job. So little firsthand experience there. But with this shell, again, very durable. But the cool thing about eVent is its waterproofing and breathability. So fully waterproof shell, it's a laminated waterproof membrane that's inside there. But what eVent does that is unique compared to other waterproof membranes is that on that membrane, you have billions of microscopic pores. And the side that is facing Charles actually has a special chemical coating on there. And what it does different is that most waterproof membranes, in order for them to work and to get rid of that heat and that water inside as you start to build up that heat, is it has to wait for moisture to actually build up on the rider. It will then absorb that moisture and let it evaporate through that layer. What eVent can do is before water or moisture even builds up, it can take that heat and that water vapor, sweat, humidity, and it can evaporate that through that waterproof membrane so it doesn't have to wait for actual moisture to build up. And that's something that eVent is really known for. So pretty unique fabric. It's been awesome for us. The waterproofing is amazing. Another cool, unique feature about this too is the washing. Some people are a little bit hesitant to wash their adventure gear because they think it's going to ruin the DWR coating that this does have on the outside, or it's not going to be as waterproof. That is not the case. You can actually wash this gear often, and they actually recommend you do that. You can machine wash it on cold. Yeah, so after you wash it, just rinse it off a couple of times to get all that detergent off of there, let it air dry, you're good to go. What's also cool about this fabric is that as you wash it, it actually helps to rejuvenate the waterproofing and the breathability. So again, don't be afraid to wash it. On top of that, let's talk about the protection side of it. So this was important to us. Like I said, Charles and I, we've tested this firsthand, but you've got D3O molecular armor in the shoulders and the elbows and the back pad, all CE level 1. If you're not familiar with D3O armor, it is very unique because it does an incredible job of absorbing impact. But what's cool about D3O is that when Charles is wearing this right now, he's obviously going to be building up some body heat on the inside. When that D3O starts to warm up, it actually becomes softer and more pliable, so it fits the contour of your body really well. But if Charles were to go down, as soon as that impact is introduced, the molecules inside that D3O firm up and absorbs that impact, and that's what you're getting. And also what's nice too is that the elbow armor is adjustable, so you can move that pocket just to make sure you can fine tune exactly where that's going to be so it's in the right position if you do go down. And then over top of that D3O armor, you have what is called super fabric. And typically you don't see super fabric until you go quite a bit up in price from the Xplorer gear. And what super fabric is you have these ceramic plates that are bonded to this material. And again, you got that shoulders and the elbows. We'll get to the pant here in a little bit. But this is arguably, and I don't know of any other material outside of super fabric that is more durable and abrasion resistant than what you're getting here. And what's still nice though is that even with how durable and abrasion resistant it is, it still has plenty of flexibility, so it's not gonna feel overly stiff when you have it on there. So the protection of this jacket, second to none. Waterproofing, or excuse me, venting. That's very important with any adventure gear. And like I said, we've tested this gear in all different climates, but you know what? When the temps come up, you need that air to circulate and go through here. So you actually have 6 vents on the front of this jacket. You've got these upper bicep vents, which in that riding position, that's what we're always focused on, is how it's gonna vent when your arms are on the handlebars and you're sitting on the bike. So you got these 2 bicep vents. You've got these large chest vents here. And when I open those up, you can see you've got the mesh liner. And again, being that this is shell only and the waterproof membrane's laminated to that, when I open that, you can see directly to Charles's body on the inside. So you know that airflow is gonna go directly through there. Now, the other vents, which are probably our favorite vents on the jacket, is right here on the forearm. So you've got this 2-way zipper right here. And when you're in the riding position, you know, you think about it, your hands are here, you're getting so much airflow coming through these vents. So if Charles wants to, he can just unzip this from the top. But being that it is a 2-way vent, he can open that up. Obviously, this is gonna make it easy to get a gauntlet glove on or get this over top of your glove. But he can open that up, gets direct airflow. But also what's nice too, this is now a locking zipper. So if Charles wants to have that, say, halfway open, wants to make sure that that zipper is not going to creep open on him, well, once you have that folded down, it does not allow that zipper to open past that. Like I said, all YKK zippers, all waterproof. Another little update too is the material here at the base of the cuff. This is an updated fabric just to be even more durable than what was previously on there. Another little change too, this is kind of going back to the fitment, is the location of this zipper and this forearm adjuster. So some of our customers talked about how they felt like that zipper came a little bit too high and close to the crease of the arm, a little bit of binding there. So they moved that and they shortened that zipper down just a little bit to prevent any of that from happening. So those 2 vents are crucial. We love the way those work. There's big exhaust vents on the back that we're going to show you here in just a moment. But let's talk about the pockets. So you have 5 pockets on the front. You've got this chest pocket here. Great location for, say, a satellite communicator, small things like that. Then you have these 2 large cargo pockets right here in the front. So one of the updates too was with these pockets here. So we actually just increased the overall size of these just to make it easier to get your hand inside there when you do have a glove on. You can see too that you do have this flap that folds over itself. Those are fully waterproof. And then Charles, you can show them there. You've got 2 hand warmer pockets. Those are gonna have a snap to keep those closed. Perfect. Yeah, you got to snap to keep that closed. So we talked about those adjusters. Oh, one last pocket right here on the forearm. You've got your ID pocket, and again, YKK zippers all are gonna have these big zipper garages here just to make sure that water is just gonna run off of those if you get caught in some inclement weather. So last couple things I wanna point out on the front before we have Charles turn around is these cinch cords down here at the bottom. So these are cohesive cinch cords. What's cool about these, just like the adjuster straps, one-handed operation. So you can pull on those to cinch the jacket down, but then if Charles just goes, you can see right here, all he has to do is just squeeze that, and that releases that cinch cord. So you're gonna have one of those on each side. Again, we're just talking about the ease and the functionality of that, and those, honestly, it's one of those small things that you wouldn't think is a big deal, but once you use it, you're like, that's actually really nice to have. The other change too is up here on the top. So you've got the collar. So if you want, again, if you want even more venting that we just talked about, you can unzip that a little bit. You've got this nice big flap here covering up that zipper, but you do have these little loops or hooks here on the chest. So Charles could open that up. Kind of hard to do from this angle, but he could hook those open if he wants to get more airflow coming in. And then another change too is that, we'll do these back up real quick, is with the collar itself, and again, going back to what we learned, rider feedback, we've actually taken the collar and moved it forward just a little bit. So you still have this really soft fleece liner up here on the top, so it's not gonna chafe. But some riders talked about it being just a little bit too close to their neck. So we brought that forward just a little bit. And there's also, as you're gonna see here in just a minute, there is a hydration pouch bladder in the back. So if you are gonna be using that, that's gonna put a little bit more weight on the back. So we wanna make sure that that wasn't gonna pull that collar too close to Charles if he is utilizing that. But you also do have a cinch cord, and we'll show, actually, Charles, turn in the back and we'll show him real quick. So here on the back, there's that large pocket for your hydration bladder. You could put a 2-liter hydration bladder if you wanted to. You do have this little piece here just to suspend that bladder once you do have it in there. But then up here on the top, you've got your neck cinch cord. Now this, you'll notice it's actually offset to the left just a little bit. Again, talking about ease of use. So this is put to that side just so that when Charles is actually riding the bike, he can reach that easily with his left hand. He doesn't have to stop, try and reach in the middle. And so just, again, just easy to access, easy to get to. And then your large vent zips you have right here on the sides. So again, open those up, getting direct airflow coming right out of the back of the jacket. Again, there's the added length that you have in the back. Now this black fabric here is just an extra heavy duty reinforced fabric in some of those high wear areas. So you're gonna see that here on the bottom. You'll see it on the pant as well. And last but not least, the final pocket on this jacket is your rabbit pouch here in the back. Fully waterproof, again, very large, easy to put some items inside there. So you got some reflectivity here on the back of the shoulders. All right, Charles, face back to the front for me. Got a little bit more reflectivity up here as well. And then you'll notice, last thing I'll call out before we open this thing up is you do have this loop right here. So if you are using a hydration sip tube, you can route it through there just to hold that in place for you. All right, Charles, let's open her up. Let's get this thing open. So you can see large storm flap there covering everything up. A little snap down at the bottom just to hold that closed. We'll open that. And Charles, hold that puppy open for me. So one of the big updates to the inside now, you notice that these chest pockets right here, these are built to take, open that, D3O molecular armor. Now I do want to point out that this armor does not come included with the jacket, but this is a big update for us. We built these pockets to take this armor. So for riders that do want that additional impact protection in the chest, you can now have that. And like I mentioned earlier, remember how I said D3O armor when it's, warms up? You can obviously see Charles had a lot of body heat on this. It's super soft and flexible, but like I said, when an impact's introduced, it gets very firm, absorbs that incredibly well. There's these cinch cords that I mentioned earlier down at the bottom. And again, on the inside, it's just a mesh liner, no bells or whistles there, but again, you can see that's the inside of the jacket. Now, we're gonna get Charles up on the box. We're gonna talk about the pant. All right, we got Charles up on the table, so we're gonna talk about the pant now. As just a quick reminder, the construction and the armor is going to be the same as what we just talked about in the jacket. And also remember too, there are those tall sizes in certain colorways. So Charles, 5'11", 32 waist, he's wearing the standard length right now. And you can see it is a really good fit for him. All right, so up at the top, pretty simple here. You got a ratchet closure, nice big waist adjusters to tighten that down. You actually have 4 pockets on this pant. You've got 2 hand pockets here up at the top. You have a cargo pocket on each leg. Now, as far as your vents go on the front, you've got these 2 large thigh vents. These for us were the perfect location because again, in that seated position, that vent's gonna be open. That's where you're gonna get all that airflow going through there. And as you work your way down, big old stretch panel here over top of the knee. Plenty of room inside there. If you do wanna wear additional knee guards, you could, but you do have that D3O armor in the knee, which is adjustable to help you fine tune that fit. You also do have D3O armor in the hips as well on this pant. Now over top of the knee, again, you've got that super fabric like the elbow on the jacket. Charles, turn your right leg out for me. So as you work your way down, another cool feature here, large embossed leather knee panel all the way down the inside of the leg just to add to the durability. It's a nice high quality, soft, flexible leather. And then here on the inside and at the cuff, you've got that reinforcement material that I talked about that we saw on the jacket as well. All right, Charles, face the back for me. Now on the back, there's that reinforcement panel here in the seat. Again, high wear area. The vents on this is key. Very large exhaust vents here on the back of the leg. And again, you can see right to Charles's leg because you just have that mesh liner there on the inside. So direct airflow going through. As you come down here, you've got these adjuster straps here on the top of the calf to help cinch everything down. And then of course, pop of reflectivity here, but very large opening, large gusset, just to get that over top of your boots. And then you've got 3 snaps here to really cinch that down once you have that on. Do that back up. All right, Charles, face back to the front. So again, like I said, quick little recap, all the same construction and protection as the jacket. You've got that adjustable armor there in the knees. Again, using that super fabric, the leather knee panels, all the high-end features that you would look for in a premium pant. All right, everyone, so that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video on the latest edition of the Xplorer gear from MSR. So hopefully I've answered all your questions, but if you do have any, please don't hesitate. Leave those down below. We will get those answered. To see this gear and all the other adventure items that MSR has to offer, like I mentioned, he's got the wind block glove on. We've got the adventure boots. We've got the mid and the base layers, the expedition helmet, everything you need top to bottom to get ready for your next ride. So click the link or head to RockyMountainATVMC.com right now to shop all of that. We ship for free over 75 bucks. And as always, if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest gear like this, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.